people. Well, we are on Interstate 77 headed towards Florida. We got a few campgrounds to stop at on our way. We don't like going it's 10.5 hours to get there non-stop, so we don't like to make that trip in one day. We just went to McDonald's for breakfast. Akila loves McDonald's, so we went there and got some bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits. We got gas in South Carolina because it's roughly 30 cents cheaper than North Carolina, in case you're traveling through the area. We did have to go 10 miles away from the border to get cheap gas, but gas in North Carolina was $3.18. We just got gas for $2.85, so not bad. However, the roads in South Carolina are awful. But anyways, we've got about 4.5 to 5 hours, depending on our stops along the way. We do have to occasionally get out and stretch and release a little of this drink we're drinking. So we will call you if we see anything great. So stay tuned. We'll be back for you in about 1 second. All right. Well, folks, we are at the Laura Walker State Park in Georgia. It's a pretty nice little state park. It's a little tight and it's a lot open, but we have a pretty good site. We have forest all over here on this side. You're on the picnic table. On the other side, there's another campsite, and they've got some kids that are making a lot of talking noise, so not a big deal, but I figured I better put on the good mic. Let me show you the campsite. It's almost perfectly level, so we didn't even unhook from the car, which is nice because we're only here for one night. We got the stabilizers down, of course, but we're perfectly level. We're up in the air quite a bit, so I can kind of keep things. That's my neighbor right there. We've got electricity and water if we want it, but we never hook up to water. We bring enough water. And wasn't too hard backing in here. I tried to angle it into the woods so that Akila can get out in the morning. The boy is in the car at the moment because we have a kitten running around our campsite for some reason. Not that I worry that he'd do anything, but. So these are the other campsites right next to us. We're on 16. That's 18 and 20, I think. But there's the bathhouse over there. And you can see the sites are pretty close. Everybody's friendly and everything, but it's got a lake, real nice lake, way out over there. You can have a site on the lake, but I think this site was 33 maybe, and the lake sites were 35 or 38. Other stuff. I guess there's a golf course here. Oh, there's the kitten. He was pretty interested in the dog, but I'm not sure the dog was in the mood to be nice to a kitten. So, not that the dog has ever done anything to any animal, but let's go check out the bathhouse. But you can see how close these sites are to each other. They have a nice bathroom parking area. The men's room. Two showers, two toilets. Looks well used, well cleaned. Regular valve on the wall. That's nice. It's got a soap dish, which I always like. Got a curtain if you're shy. A place to dress, change, which is fairly dry, and it's got a little bench there. It's tile. That's kind of nice. And the other one, this is, I guess, the handicap one, which has a, it looks like nobody uses the handicap one. Got real mirrors, hand soap, and paper towels, in addition to regular air blow hand dryers. Here's a map of the campground. And again, I'm in 16, somewhere over here, maybe. Yeah, I must be over here. But it's got a golf course. If you camp and golf course, I'm not sure what this is over here. This is just park, and there's a big lake. I think there's a trail that goes through the swamp, which we want to do. If I can keep the boy from jumping in the swamp. This is the handicap site, of course. There's the host and all the other campers. This is the park with everything, I guess. There's a dog park here. So it's a little fenced in area, and it's separated for big dogs and little dogs. So that's kind of nice. You don't see that very often, but I guess you do here. We'll go in and check it out. Come here. We found a bag of toys. He especially likes this one. They have an interpretive center. Probably not open today, especially at this hour. It's about 4:30, 5 o'clock. So this is site number 3. It's a pull-through site, and it's a pretty big, roomy site. Although it's right on the road. It's one of those roadside pull-up sites, but it's a pretty nice site. And then we got the inner sites. Number 4 looks pretty nice and spacious too. My kind of sign. Swimming prohibited, and be careful of the gators. He couldn't find any sticks, so he found this pine cone. I don't like playing with pine cones because they're all sticky, but he's desperate. He couldn't find a stick, but you know, there's sticks right over there. I don't know what his problem is. Well, I guess I gotta take him out in the woods and show him where the sticks are. He'll have to pick his own though. I'm not gonna grab sticks and break them up for him. I was gonna show you what I made for dinner, but I made it so fast it was like I couldn't show you. Couldn't get the camera set up. But we're having what I call a chicken cordon bleu sandwich. It's a piece of ham and a piece of chicken, both with baby Swiss cheese on it, and a little bit of mayonnaise I borrowed from the plant. And then we'll have got apples and some drinks. But it's a nice little campground. It's amazing how full it is. It's perfect weather down here. It's 70 degrees, I think. Daytime temperature. Now, I don't know what it's like. The other reason I couldn't do what I was cooking for you is because it gets dark at 5 o'clock. Suddenly I was hungry and I said I better make dinner, and that was like 4:30 because we didn't eat lunch. And suddenly it was getting dark, so I got out the pots and pans and the food. But so we're in the trailer where there's light for the video, and need a napkin. And you have everything at fingertips. Everything's at the fingertips in a nail liner, because you can reach from one end to the other. It is a pretty cramped little campground, and it seems like there's a lot of people here that come here all the time. There are 2 hosts here that I have found and talked to, and it's a campground that's next to I think a kids camp for summer. But it's pretty cool. We'll try to get the rest of the park in the morning before we leave. We leave in the morning, but all right, we're gonna eat. No use me talking or you watching me chew. So we'll probably see you in the morning. All right, hang tight. We'll be right back. Well, folks, it's another great morning camping. It's a little tight in here this morning. We got supplies for a week and a half. We're just eating granola cereal, and this is store-bought, which is pretty depressing. Leave a comment below if you think you want to see my all-in-one granola cereal. I buy this once in a while. It gets on sale for really cheap, but all it is oatmeal covered in honey or sugar or something, probably corn syrup, and one other thing. It's, you can buy it with oats and raisins, or oats and nuts, or oats and cranberries, or it's never everything together. So sometimes I mix them, but it seems stupid to me. I could throw a box of oatmeal in with some nuts and raisins and cranberries and all sorts of things and really make it really good, which I have done in the past. Then coat it with maple syrup and bake it, and it comes out pretty good. The problem is I tend to eat it really fast. But it's great camping food because it's got a lot of good nutrition in it, and it's all you need is, like, you can eat it dry, but I usually throw milk on it just to make it go down easier. This little campground is pretty nice. It's pretty packed together for sites. I mean, there are some good sites. Like, I'm pleased with my site very well. But right now we're on 16. That's a great site. And it's funny because it was open when everything else was all taken. So I don't know why people in RVs like to be right next to each other. But maybe they're friends. Who knows? Maybe it's a big party, Christmas party. They sure were noisy last night until 9 o'clock, which when the kids all went to bed. But the shower was fantastic. It was nice and hot. Had nice curtains to keep it from getting on your stuff. The bathrooms were immaculately clean. I mean, you couldn't have had a cleaner bathroom in a hospital. So that's all I'll talk about the bathroom, I guess. I'm gonna eat breakfast. Akil is gonna sniff his and decide he doesn't want it, and then we're gonna go for a hike on the nature trail. I'm walking down the nature trail with my 60,000 lumen. This is my breakfast. Your breakfast is in the car. Kennel. Walking down the nature trail with my 60,000 lumen headlight on. And in the bushes I see all these green emerald colored luminescences. And they're moving. I mean, they're crawling around. So I decided I want to see what they are. I start parting the leaves of a bush where I see one. And it's trying to get out of my light. It's moving pretty good. And when I finally figured out what it was, it's this great big garden spider. But there were thousands of them out in the woods. I mean, it was really cool to see everything. Looked like a Christmas tree out there, and all the little bushes on the ground, the ground cover, which was pretty neat. I mean, all these big spiders. A lot more spiders in the woods than you really thought. They hide pretty good, I guess. But it was pretty. It was very pretty. I wish I could have gotten a picture with the camera, but the camera wasn't going to show it. So, but if you ever go out in Georgia on a nature trail in the swamps at night, take a good headlight and look for those little green. They're little teeny tiny green lights. Pretty cool. All right, let me finish this. We'll see you on the nature trail. Bye-bye. Yes, he finally found his stick. He has learned that if he grabs it by the mouth and lays his body on it, he can often break it in half. But this one's a little bigger than he's used to. Well, we went down a walk down the nature trail, and most of it is a boardwalk that goes through the swamp, and it's really pretty interesting, but short of showing you all the kiosks with all the explanations of all the wildlife and stuff that live there, I figured we'd wait for another time. It's a pretty neat park. You'd enjoy it if you went. Subscribe, share, and comment. See you next time, folks. Thanks.